Hello, I'm Declan McKenna, and you're watching Toasted.
Declan, welcome to Groningen.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Have you actually been here before?
Not to this part of the country. I've been to the Netherlands before, yeah, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we teamed up in Amsterdam in Paradise. So actually, did you like that gig? Was it good?
Yeah, actually, it was pretty good. It was quite it was a pretty standard like festival of that type where it's very rushed, like going on stage and checking everything. But it was a load of fun. I had a really good time.
What happened since we left? Because I mean, your career is taking off like I would say a rocket. But a lot of stuff happened, probably.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've finished making an album now. I've finished, preparing for my all this touring and stuff I'm doing. So I guess things are all very much progressing in a nice way. Just good.
First of all, I'd like to talk about the touring a little. Is it still fun? Because the last time you told me I'm out with my friends, this is the best thing ever. I can't imagine it is tiring though.
It is. I mean, it depends. Like, sometimes stories are great. Sometimes it's like, It really just depends on so many different things, and sometimes you're just like, I just want to put my energy into like creativity and not repetition. But sometimes you're just having a really good time. So, yeah, it depends. But at the minute, I'm having fun. I mean, I haven't been playing shows in a while now, so it's nice to. This is like the first of quite a lot over the next couple months.
What have you been up to then?
Well, I finished my album, as I said. Yeah, well, I did over Christmas. I had a lot of time off. I got to spend time with my family and my friends, which I don't get to do very often now, which is nice. And then we were just kind of, just at the start of the year, been preparing for all these shows I'm doing. It's cool. It's been a nice break. It's always nice to have some time off.
Is it good for the band? I mean, are you guys? Of course, it must be straining to be on tour and living on each other's lap all the time. It must be tough. But I can also imagine that your band has really progressed now. It must be a unity stronger than it ever was.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've only really been together playing for just over a year now. It was our like band anniversary a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, I mean, we're just constantly like becoming better friends and becoming better at what we do and becoming better at playing together, and the songs sound better, and it's just a constant progression of everything, and which is really lovely. We're just a great group of friends at the minute, so it's good.
The album. It's all done, finished.
Yeah.
Happy about it.
Yeah, I am. I'm very happy about it. I mean, it's been a very weird process. It's kind of been quite staggered and quite, all over the place. But I got it done. They're all tracks that I really like, and there's,
Last time you told me you had a lot of songs, and it was tough to cut it back to the bare essential, basically.
Yeah, definitely it can be. But I think I've got now a group of songs which I guess up to the point like we finished making it were the best songs I have, and it's very varied. It's very it's quite open. I didn't really want to focus too much on a genre or a theme for this album just because it's so early on. Like, I don't think it's necessary for me. I just don't want to. So I just come out with some songs that I'm very happy about. James Ford produced it, so it sounds great. So I'm very well. He produced most of it, so yeah. I'm just very excited, very happy.
How did you team up? Was he one of your favorite producers, or was it like?
Yeah, I think I must have mentioned it to someone, like my manager or something, and I don't know, all of a sudden it was like, I sent your songs to James Ford, he wants to record them, and I was like, great. And then it happened, and he's a really sound guy, and yeah, I'm very excited to put out this album. And
Sounds to me that a lot of stuff just like, and of course this is not true, just happens to you. You just happen to be in the FIFA game. You just happen to be signed. You just have. Well, this is, of course, it's not true. I mean, you're a talented guy, right?
I think like 90% of the things that I've ended up doing have just been because it's like right place, right time. You just have loads of lucky things happen to you, and obviously you've got to put in. obviously you've got to, obviously you've got to put in a lot of hard work to do these sorts of things. But you know, around that there is just these things that happen. For example, my first single getting picked up, you know, after me releasing it on my own. Just stuff like that just happens. It happened, and I don't know why. I don't know how.
Songs outstanding, lyrics are outstanding.
Yeah, obviously that contributes. I'm just saying that sometimes things happen, and there's not really an explanation for it. There's just, you know, just sometimes good things happen when you put in the work, I guess.
How many tracks are on the album now?
There is.
Do you actually think album? Because I mean, you know, a lot of artists that we talk to, especially here, are like, well, you know, we only release 6 songs, so we're not going to release an album. We're going to wait because why release an album? Because people will forget about it the next day. Or maybe we're going to have 12 so we can put them on vinyl. That's it, you know? They don't think in how should I put this, creative terms, to have an album that starts with one song and you have this audio trip when you listen to it. And I have the impression that you do work like that.
Yeah, I mean, the album's 11 songs, and I always think about that because all my favorite records are like 11 songs. So it's like St. Vincent's albums are mostly 11 songs. David Bowie, like Hunky Dory and Young Americans, 11 songs. So I kind of thought about it like that. But I think on this album, because it was so staggered and stuff, there's a sort of flow listening to it the whole way through, but not in the same way as some albums have like a very specific theme. I've kind of tried to have the songs go in a certain order where it, I guess, works and kind of feels right, and there's no like massive jumps between 2 completely different songs. But I think because the whole process has been quite, you know, 1 month I'm doing loads of recording, and then I'm on tour for a couple months, and then I'm like, oh, I've got all these new songs that are completely different from the last ones. It kind of doesn't have such a level of like theme, but I kind of like that about it because it's my first album, and I think it's kind of, I've been very free with what I'm doing and very just open to trying different things. And I think, you know, a lot of smaller bands don't want to release an album so early on because, you know, if you do release it and you don't have enough fans to back it up, or if you want to, you know, if you want your album to have a big impact in, you know, in terms of the year's music and get picked up, I guess for smaller bands an album just doesn't make sense. And as well, because if there's still a lot of people, you know, newly discovering your music, it's like, oh, there's too many songs. If you've got a couple singles out, then they can go, oh, I'll listen to these ones, and it's like your best songs that you've got out. So I kind of agree with some bands, you know, holding off an album for a year or two, which is what I did, really. Yeah. Sorry for going on and on.
On the other hand, I think, of course you are right, but I mean, if you have the songs, why not release them? And I mean, you are a prolific writer, right?
Yeah, I write a lot, but I think it just depends what you want to do. Like some artists, Prince, for example, you know, one of the biggest artists of all time, he was very prolific and he released loads of albums. He apparently has loads of albums that he made and has never showed anyone and will never release. But he made loads of albums and he put out loads of albums, and some people like doing that. I think, you know, I think albums fully are a nice thing, and when an artist can pull off a full album that is like a whole creative project and a work of art that it's brilliant the whole way through, that's like all you can really work up to, and that's why I want to work up to doing as an artist. But yeah, it just, I think whenever it feels right for whoever's making the album is the right time.
What about the artwork? You were, of course, in control of the artwork. What's it like, and who did it?
A lady called Claudia has helped make it, and a photographer called Sophie. I forget their last names now, but anyway, it's a sort of, I don't want to give away too much. It's a sort of recreation of an old home video, like a still of an old home video, but in like a very modern way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why can't you elaborate on it?
I just haven't released it. I think I haven't. Well, we haven't finished making it for starters, but but
This is the interesting thing because this is about to be released. Imagine we're in the 70s. You're David Bowie. I'm asking you about Hunky Dory. Fans love to hear that stuff. How a record sleeve or now an album comes together. So I mean, this is actually I think a pretty good question.
it is a good question.
Please elaborate on it.
I haven't finished making it. I know what I'm doing, but I haven't finished making
But
it.
I mean, you are involved in that way.
Oh,
That if you don't like it, it's not going to be the artwork.
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's I'm still kind of waiting to see, but the artist who I picked to make it is like amazing and makes lots of really really cool like hyper real animations and stuff, which I was really digging. So yeah, we kind of reached out to her about it, and luckily she said yes, and I'm just very excited. I'm as excited to see it as anyone else. Like I haven't seen anything yet, so.
So when will it be out? Can we get our hands and ears on it?
God, May I think. It's coming soon. Yeah, it's kind of been jumping all over the place, but I think springtime.
So you will tour this album. I mean, you will be on the festivals. You will be. We can find you everywhere, probably. I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be all over the place. We've got a lot planned that we haven't announced yet, which all these stuff. I mean, we
Going
got.
to be Glastonbury this year, for instance.
I
Don't say that. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know about Glastonbury yet because Glastonbury is notoriously secretive, and I don't know anything yet. But there's going to be lots of great festivals, lots of touring. No, not just in the UK. We've got stuff in Europe planned. Some really really exciting stuff in Europe planned actually. We're going to a lot of places that we haven't been before. We've obviously got the European tour in February with Blossoms, which is very exciting, and then we've got America. We just announced Coachella, which is awesome. So that's very exciting. Yeah, I think we're doing the same day as Beyonce, which will be pretty cool. That'll be 2 weekends as well, which is exciting. So.